right. There we go. All right. We are up and running. Sweet. Okay. Well, Riz, do you want to roll a D100 for me here?
You're gonna have to remind me how.
If you right-click on the D10 dice, you'll see a percentage. That's the next one over.
Is it that one?
That's the D8 next one over. That
This one?
Yep. Right-click. Choose percentage. Chuck them. There we go. Okay. 14. Let's see what we got here. Alright, so the question today is describe a moment where you felt vulnerable.
Good one.
Uh-oh, what the... Oh, there it goes. It was a little laggy there for a second. What the heck? Sarah, Boo, Blossom, and Mix. I'll give you all a moment here to think about that. Oh wow, they like changed all the symbols for menu stuff in here this past week or something.
Yes, and Unity is due, what, April 11th? So it's soon. It was supposed to be end of this month. They postponed it 11 more days. I don't know how that's going to go now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're working on software. That's stuff you can work on apart from other people.
Most of their work, I think, is remote anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's how the stuff, all the stuff I do is we're just work from home, so it's not really any difference than what we usually do.
Mission critical.
Yeah. Woo! We are definitely not. We're just we just a website builder. For all this...
multiple infected offices in like multiple cities now.
Oof. Jesus. Nasty.
It's what it is.
Yep. Hooray, corporate overlords.
Right?
Alright. Anybody have something that's come to mind yet? To kick us off?
I was gonna say, I was completely terrified. I remember Boo holding the knife, trying to slice my throat.
Alright. Interparty conflict. Alright. Let's see. How about Jinku?
Sorry, the question was when a time I felt vulnerable, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
I'd say probably that she was first abandoned by her family. She didn't really know what to do. She always had her clan, so just that was a very vulnerable time for her.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Blossom, how about you?
After I got out of being a slave in the arena, and before I found this group.
Okay.
World was a scary place.
That's fair. Alright, and Zara?
And I obviously felt very vulnerable after I was, put on the streets to live on my own, but I would say that the time I felt the most vulnerable was after I was hired in to a noble house to work on their staff, the experience of feeling like someone was controlling me and everything I did made me feel more vulnerable than anything.
Okay. And Boo.
Well, there was one time, like, so I was just kind of created, so I never really had much of a childhood. So, in the beginning there, not a lot was explained to me. I kind of had to figure things out. It was a very vulnerable time
Okay.
for several years. Mixed being an idiot doesn't help.
Fair. All right, good stuff. So, anybody want to recap a little what shenanigans we got up to last time? Let me share this for y'all real quick and not crash the thing this time with the right size map. If that helps refresh your memory at all.
Well, we had gone into the Blue Alley
Mm-hmm.
and gone through all of these kind of like trap rooms, essentially, that were made by, in my opinion, really bored sorcerers.
I mean, you're not wrong.
We only kind of explored like a fraction of it, but we managed to find the Celeste height unicorn.
Yep.
In this mirror room.
Yep.
And now we're out in the hallway debating if we're gonna go back right away and give it back, or if we're going to explore more.
Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, you guys did manage to get what you came here for, but, of course there is more to be had here in the Blue Alley. And you guys are certainly in need of the cash. So, what do you all do here? You're standing in the hallway. You just got out of this mirror room and trying to figure out how to get it and your clothing and everything else back out of it successfully, which you did manage to do. And so you currently have this Celestite unicorn statue in your possession. I'm not sure. One of you has it in like a satchel or something. I don't remember exactly which one of you does. But yeah.
I think it was wrapped up in Blossom's cloak.
Oh yeah, it's wrapped up in like Blossom's cloak. That's right. But there are a few other doors in this hallway that you haven't gone in as of yet. I mean, you've gone in the two doors to the right, but there's also two doors on the left-hand side, and kind of towards the northern end, and then there's also a door to the north as well in this hallway.
I'd say we at least explore this all and see if we can find anything else of value so that we can finish fixing up that manor. I want to finish creating my little lab of horrors in the basement.
All right.
Alright.
And I'm gonna hand Boo the 3 minor healing things I got.
If you put them in the party sheet, I think I can grab them.
Yeah, that'd probably be the easiest way to go about it.
Oh, hey, there's already 2 potions of healing.
I think those are the ones I created, so take them.
I think you are correct. Yeah, I think you're right there. That sounds right. Cool. Well, what do you all check out first?
I'm gonna check out this door that I'm in front of. I'm gonna open it up and take a look inside.
Okay. So, you open this door here to the left. Let me just get unmask that here. So, in here, the walls of this chamber are lined with kind of red clay bricks. And at the far end of this is about a 40-foot deep circular pit. The pit's about kind of 8 feet in diameter. The room's very hot and humid as you open this door. You kind of get a blast of this kind of ashy smelling air as this opens. And the pit that you can see on the other end of the room is, you can see kind of a fiery red glow being emitted out of the pit as you're looking at this.
I don't think I'm gonna go into this room. That pit kind of makes me a little nervous.
Okay.
Why? Go in there. I'll hold your hand. Come on.
You first, my eternal protector.
Let's hold hands.
I'm just gonna shove Boo in.
I'll accept this. I'll let him shove me if I can try and like sleight of hand to grab him and pull me in with me. I want to hold his hand. I want him to.
Sure. Okay. Go ahead and roll sleight of hand on that and see if you successfully do that. All right. So you, as you get pushed in, as you let Mix push you in, you do reach out to grab for his hand, but he manages to see it coming and kind of pulls a hand back out of the way. You aren't able to yank him in behind you like you planned, but standing inside the threshold of this door, this room very humid. Smell of ashes salting your nostrils.
Anything interesting about this pit?
You go over and take a look, and you see down at the bottom of this 40-foot deep pit are two magmans standing in a deep pile of ashes. And they are just kind of idling down there, generating heat. You see in the pit, you see various burnt items in here. It seems that this room is treated as kind of an incinerator of sorts. But you see some mounds of what look like, gold, silver, and copper slag that have been kind of melted together somewhat down there in this incinerator room. As you're standing here, you're kind of surprised as one of the where's that?
Meow.
One of the boggles that you had seen before kind of poofs into existence over the pit, and he's holding the cards that he had stolen earlier, and kind of makes as he's about to kind of chuck them into this incinerator pit. It seems like these boggles kind of bring their stuff back here. He he's a little surprised by you as well, seeing you here. Like, he pops into existence ready to chuck this in, and he kind of was like, whoa! And
How far away is it?
from you, he is about maybe 10 feet away. Because he's kind of like hovering over this pit. He kind of poofed into existence up there and was about to chuck this in.
Can I try and like mage hand the little cards? Like, can we come away?
Yeah, let's see. Maybe we can do a... What kind of check would that be?
I'm terrible at it, but I think it would be a sleight of hand. Maybe?
Okay.
Because I imagine when I'm doing mage hand, I form the hand within 30 feet, and I'm probably using my hand to manipulate it.
Wouldn't Mage Hand be Arcana?
I mean, I could roll Arcana. I'd be glad to roll Arcana on that check, too.
Sure,
happy than sleight of
I'll let
hand.
I'll let you roll Arcana on that one. Just because, I mean, this probably isn't something that they see too often. So I would say this would kind of catch him by surprise, you trying to mage hand this out of his little claws here. So you cast your mage hand, and this kind of deftly appears out of the air in front of you. What does your mage hand look like?
It's a blue. It looks like a Vidalcan hand, so the fingers are kind of long and a little slightly narrow.
Okay, so this hand kind of deftly appears in the air in front of you here, and shoots forward, and just kind of quickly scoops this pack of cards out of this Boggle's hands, and he kind of like is taken a little back in surprise, and kind of glares at you angrily, and kind of shakes his fist and goes, and just poofs back out of existence. And Mage Hand returns to you with this pack of cards.
Cool. This was one of Zayara's cards, right? Or Zayara's sets?
Yeah, it was one of my playing cards.
I will tuck it along with the other of Zayara's possessions that I have accumulated thus far.
Alright.
You know,
Is anybody else slightly worried about what he's going to do with all her possessions?
I mean, so far it's mostly just those 2 packs of cards.
I mean, he's probably... He could be trying to, like, ship a Theseus Zayara here, just get enough pieces of Zayara, assume Zayara.
who knows?
Exactly.
Who knows?
Hey, I have 3 orphans to steal from you.
So I step out of the room and I look at Mix. I say, well, I mean, you shoved me in there. I didn't fall in the pit. Lucky you. But there was a Boggle down there. I'm not sure what they're doing. They seem to just be hanging out. He took off when he saw me, though.
I'm gonna whisper under my breath and be like, "You bloody pervert." Start walking up and down the hallway.
Alright.
I'm gonna pinch him on the butt with prestidigitation and all. Go to where's Zayara here, and I'll give her the. And I'll come up to Zayara and I'll take the tarot cards, the purple tarot cards out, and I'll give them to her, and I'll say, "Hey, the Boggle took these. Here you go."
Zyra looks really confused, trying to figure out how the Boggle would have had them, but she takes them anyway.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Friends on myself and order Mix to open this door I'm standing in front.
Okay, the northwest door. Okay.
Is tonight just going to be you two, like, just poking each other? Because I'm very entertained by this.
Well, it gives me advantage on charisma checks, and he can do violence against me, but he can't hurt me. So it's
Tonight
cool.
is the will they or won't they session.
Very much so. We're all very excited.
I'm just seeking an opportunity I can let him die.
Alright, so, this door... Unmask this here. So, this door you open up, and you see this room contains rows of various workbenches all over the place. And all of these are covered with what appear to be detritus of experiments that have long since been completed. There's scorch marks all over the place. There's kind of a vague stench of fire and acid that kind of assail your senses. There's beakers and vials and buckets of kind of unidentifiable arcane goop around in the area.
Oh, Mix is gonna rush into this room and start looking through all this stuff.
Okay. Go ahead and do an investigation check for me as you're looking around.
This is like his dream.
All right, very nice. So as you are looking around in here, just from like what you know of the alchemical, you know that, or you're able to kind of discern that some of these leftover reagents that are around are potentially volatile, and so you take note of that. That maybe don't touch some of this stuff or disturb it, if possible. But you do also notice that there are a few potions that are salvageable that you find in some of these flasks. You find let's see here. Oh, go ahead.
Would I know how to use these volatile agents to like make a bomb?
Go ahead and roll an Arcana check for me on that.
I feel like Mix just really likes explosions.
Looking over these, you feel as though you could probably make something explosive, but you aren't super confident in terms of its stability. So I mean, just from what's here, you could make something dangerous. Like, it wouldn't be too hard to make something dangerous, because they're already dangerous in and of themselves. But you aren't sure how safe that would be for you. It might be, but you aren't quite sure. But one of the potions that you do find is a rather large potion of healing. It's kind of in a larger flask than you would normally expect. And just as you're kind of turning this over and kind of examining this in your hands, it appears that this single large potion has the effect of 2 potions of healing in one. So I'll drop that in the party sheet. It's listed as 2 potions of healing, because there isn't a double potion of healing. But if you use that, you roll for 2 potions.
I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna start working on making it explosive as my friend's cantrip expires.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing as Mix is kind of fiddling about in here with these various kind of acidic and flame-smelling reagents that are around here?
Is that a door up there?
Yeah, there is a door at the northern end of the hall. That's correct.
I want to see what's in there.
Sure. So Yuli kind of mixed to his own devices in there and open up this northern door. Get this opened up for you here. So this room, the walls of this chamber there's kind of a red clay bricks all around the walls. And there are 7 circular metal platforms that are 6 foot wide, and they hang from the ceiling from these great iron chains. And the floor is, well, you aren't really sure how far down the floor is, because the entire area below these hanging platforms is blanketed in this thick blanket of smoke that kind of pours out of these magic smoking pots on the walls. They just kind of are continuously spilling this fog out of them, and it spreads across the lower half of this room. So you aren't really sure how far down this goes. But you see that there's this kind of trail of these platforms hanging from the ceiling that go across. And you do see, go ahead and roll a perception check for me, Blossom, as you're kind of peering into this room from the door. Okay, so you do see the westernmost platform at the end of this kind of path of them. There appears to be a sword of some kind hanging from a short chain, kind of over the center of that last disc. And you also see on the very far corner, there's a barred window on the far southwest corner as well, with these kind of thick iron bars. It doesn't look like you can get through it, but it looks like there's a hallway of some kind over there that looks out over this room at some point.
How far apart are these platforms?
The platforms are... Let's see here... They are about, on average, they vary a little bit, but they're about maybe 4 feet apart each other. So there's a decent gap between each of them, as they kind of, like, they sway a little bit in the mist, or in the fog.
Alright, let's jump to that first platform then.
Alright. So go ahead and roll an athletics check. Alright. So, Blossom, you managed to kind of back up a little ways from the door here and get a nice leap and make your way to that first disc. You managed to get enough air that you land pretty much right in the middle of it, and you kind of grasp onto one of the chains that's holding onto it as you land, just to kind of steady yourself, and the whole thing kind of sways a little bit as you land. Hey, Coco. No.
We can still see you, Moog.
I know. Coco. My dude. You gotta get down. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get down. Come on. Okay. God damn it. Okay. So yes, you managed to make it to this first platform.
Coco? No, you're not jumping on my desk. Your blanket's over here, dude.
Do you proceed to the next disc?
Yeah, let's go to the next one.
Okay. Go ahead and do another athletics check as you spring across. Okay. Alright, so again, you kind of back up a little bit, get yourself a little running start, and jump across the next gap. And you do manage to make it. You kind of stumble a little bit as you land on the next one, but you catch yourself and you manage to get back up and find yourself on the second disc. What are the other three of you doing in the hallway here? Mix is fiddling around with unknown chemicals. Blossom's jumping over things in the next room. Zara, Boo, Jinku, what are you guys up to?
I think
I'm just watching all of them.
Alright.
I guess I'll follow. I'll jump on this first platform.
Okay.
I'll try.
Wait, before you go. I'm gonna cast guidance on him.
Okay. And what effect does that have?
The target can roll a d4 and add it to the number rolled to one ability check of its choice. It can roll the dice before or after making the ability check. So
Okay.
he gets one boost if for some reason his roll sucks.
So it's kind of like, sounds like kind of like a bardic inspiration point, basically. Sounds like.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Okay.
Oh wait, that's not what I want to do. Do I have to do anything to put
I don't think that's one that you, like, actually... Yeah, I don't think that's one you, like, actually can, like, cast onto someone, but we just know that that is available for Boo. So go ahead and roll an athletics check for me, Boo, as you try to get to this first platform here.
Oof, athletics, okay.
Very nice. All right, so Boo, you know, seeing what Blossom did, you know, you try to do a little bit of the same. You back up a little bit in the hallway, get a nice little running start, and you surprise yourself with how well you managed to get across that, and you kind of land squarely right in the middle of this first disc. You know, like before with Blossom, it kind of sways a little bit back and forth as you land on it, so you're kind of balancing yourself, you know, holding onto these chains that hold it up. Blossom, you continue on to the next one.
How much sway do these things have?
They have some. Like, they're fairly heavy, so it would take a fair bit of, you know, momentum to try to get them really swinging. But you know, they hang on these chains from the ceiling and don't seem to be, like, anchored to the, you know, whatever floor there is, if there is one. So, like, they do kind of move a little bit from your motion on them, but probably take a little more effort if you're wanting to, like, really get them going.
Alright, let's try to jump to the next one.
Okay. Alright. So, Blossom, you jump to this next disc platform. And this one, you are almost a little short. You do manage to get onto it, but it's a little kind of sketchy for the moment there. Like when you first try to land your foot, only like the front half of your foot lands, and so you kind of like awkwardly fall forward onto the platform and kind of scrabble for a bit trying to grab the chains on it, just to kind of brace yourself there, and you kind of lay there for a moment, kind of breathing a little bit from this. And as you land on this platform, you notice a few small creatures kind of appearing out of this fog in some various places around the room here. Let me just toss a few of these in here. All right. And so Boo, Blossom, both of you go ahead and roll initiative for me here. these guys into the combat tracker. All right.
Well, what do I need to roll for my little experiment here to see if I'm successful or if I hurt myself?
Go ahead and roll an Arcana check for me.
Okay, I have advanced proficiency in alchemy, so maybe with advantage or just normal.
I'd say go ahead and roll with advantage. I'll give you that. All right. So you, after kind of fiddling around with these various chemicals in here, you feel that you've managed to make yourself a fairly stable explosive. I'm trying to, let me look in the items here and see if I can find something that would work for that. Let's see here.
What are you look? What kind of thing are you looking?
Like just some kind of explosive device. Like I'm not sure.
You could look up an arcane bomb and see if that's
Arcane bomb.
something you're.
Okay, let me see.
If that's something you're spivey with, I don't know if that's in the regular item book. I know that's a prince.
I don't seem to have
No, it's
arcane
not.
bomb in the items, but I have regular bomb. We could just say, let's see here. Alright, let me toss one of these in the party sheet for you here. We're going to modify that bomb slightly, Mix, if you take that for this. So the regular bomb, it looks like it does 3d6 fire damage. But since this one's arcane, it's not a regular bomb. We'll have it do 4d6 damage instead of 3d6, and we'll say it has a 10-foot radius instead of 5. Because I don't seem to have an arcane bomb item option, so we'll kind of tweak that a little bit for you there. So 10-foot radius, 46 damage on that one if you chuck that at something.
Alright, I'll modify it. Thank you.
Cool. Sweet. Alright. Zara, Jinku, you two are standing at the door here of this room that Blossom and Boo were in. You see these kind of little smoke mephits kind of appear out of this fog at the base of this room. They're kind of little imp-looking things. Let me actually see if I can get a picture for y'all. Let's see. Here we go. Oh wait, that's not the right thing. Here we go. One of these little buggers.
Devastation orb. That's the item I was thinking.
Oh, let me take a look at that. Let me see if that's actually closer. What do we got?
It's different. They have like their element specific, and then maybe a little more. I don't know.
What is that from?
That's
I don't see
That's
that.
from. Oh, it's Princes of the Apocalypse.
Ah, okay. I don't have Prince of the Apocalypse. I don't seem to have that one.
Oh, okay.
Alright, well that's fine. We'll just use this modified bomb then, for now. But yes, smoke mephits. These little kind of imp-looking fuckers.
Ah, these guys. Fun time.
So yeah, so you see several of these appearing out of the smoke at the bottom of the room here. So let's go ahead and let's see. Looks like we got Mix. You are, or well, the rest of you go ahead and roll initiative as well, just so you're in the turn order, if you haven't already, and we'll go from there once everybody's in there. Okay, I think we're all in here. Sweet. Oh, still Mix. So Mix, you are up first. You kind of hear some kind of shouts of surprise or commotion coming from the other room here. We just finished this explosive device that you have in your hands. What are you up to, Mix?
Mix is gonna walk back out and look, and then just walk up behind Jinku and Zyar.
All right.
He's real happy with himself.
Jinku, Zara, Mix is walking right up behind you guys carrying some unknown device. What are you guys thinking?
Seems about right.
Does that one also explode?
Oh, what the heck? Why did it jump turns?
I've never made a bomb around y'all before. I made roofies before, and a healing potion.
I still have one of those rupees.
Quick, is there a way to manually set... Oh, there it is. Okay, never mind, I fixed it.
Yeah, you just click the little thing on the side.
Yeah, I got it. So, Boo, that brings us to you then. Mix is creeping up here, behind here with this explosive device. And Boo, you're on this first platform, and you see a few of these smoke methods kind of appearing out of this kind of gray mist fog substance below you on the floor. What are you up to?
I guess I'll try and kill one of these. I don't like them. They don't look like they're up to any good. So I'll cast Toll the Dead. It's the only thing I can.
Okay.
Oh, those tokens aren't linked. I think they're weird.
They should be. Which one are you trying to target?
Either one of them. Like maybe the one to the west of me. Which one is that? Am I not seeing which one it is for some reason?
Oh, maybe I have the wrong one turned on. Try now.
How did you get those on the map?
I clicked the little arrow below them in the encounter box thing.
Okay, so you had them built on there. Weird.
Oh, here. Here.
Can I just target like smoke method 3? I don't care which one I kill. I'm gonna kill them all.
Here. I'll fix it real quick. 1 second. Make this easier for people. 1 second here. Okay. So we'll do 3, 8, 4, 5. Okay, should be able to target him now. I think I fixed that.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Fire away. Alright, so you ring your little Toll of the Dead bell, and this does seem to have an effect on this creature. Go ahead and roll the damage for that. Alright. So your bell kind of rings out, kind of echoes a bit in this large room that you guys are in right now. And this smoke method, you can see it seems to be kind of affected by this. It's a little hard to tell because there's kind of such wispy creatures, but you seem to see some like kind of wisps kind of dissipating off of it. It seems to kind of reel a little bit there. It kind of makes some little strange, kind of airy, kind of raspy screeching almost. It's kind of light. It's a little hard to hear, but it does seem to be affected by this bell that you have rung. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
Okay. Alright, that brings us to Zyara.
able to reach number 8 from the doorway? Like with a spell?
I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say you'd be able to see through the doorway and hit 8.
How do I untarget Boo?
If you control, click on Boo, it should untarget him. There you go.
Because, it would be a shame if I also fired a spell at him.
Right.
I'm just gonna cast Sacred Flame.
Okay. Fire away. Alright. So you cast this Sacred Flame towards Smoke Method 8, and this kind of descends in this room, kind of glinting off of the the misty fog below here as this comes down. It does seem to do a decent bit of damage to it here. Go ahead and roll the damage on that. Alright. And so this flame seems to burn up some of the smoke that's kind of around this method here. And this one too kind of looks at a little like and like kind of a weird little screech as this hits. Anything else on your turn, Zara?
No, just that.
Alright, Blossom, we are to you. So Blossom, as you are standing in this, or standing on this disc here, like you've got your axe and these methods around you, you do notice that it is a little tricky to balance on here with this axe as well. So you're kind of trying to keep your balance as well as attack. So you do have disadvantage on melee attacks while you're out here, just because of the combined effort of needing to attack and also balance yourself. So keep that in mind. If you're there, Blossom. Or did we lose him?
No, I'm here.
Okay. All right. So you're out here. You got your axe. The attacks are at disadvantage since you are needing to balance yourself on these kind of swaying platforms a bit. But the turn is yours.
I'm going to ready an attack and wait for them to get closer.
Sounds like a good plan. Okay. So you ready your axe, you kind of raise it here, and also kind of are balancing yourself here in the middle of this disc as best as you can, trying to get good footing for when these come near. So if any of these get in range, you'll swing away. Which brings us to Smoke Method 8. He flies towards the door here where Jinku and Zayara are standing. And he kind of reaches out one of these misty kind of claws that it has and strikes at you, Zayara. And misses. Smoke Method 3. This one kind of zips down a little bit towards Boo. Oops. That's weird. What the heck? I think I fucked up that token somehow. Okay. Alright, fix that, sorry. Alright, Smoke Method 4. Smoke Method 4 comes towards you, Blossoms. This triggers your readied attack. So go ahead and strike at Smoke Method 4 with that attack that you had readied as that kind of flies in towards you here on that disc. We got you, Blossom?
Oh.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. He Smoke Method 4 has flown into your range. So go ahead and strike with that ready to attack that you had. Okay, so you swing with this great axe at Smoke Method 4, and this kind of manages to. He dodges out of the way, and your axe kind of passes through the trailing smoke as it kind of deftly dips out of your reach there. Smoke Method 4, in reply, tries to claw at you and does manage to hit, dealing 4 slashing damage as its claws kind of dig into you here on this platform. Smoke Method 5. Let's see here. So Smoke Method 5, this one flies towards you, Boo, and kind of hovers a little bit away from your platform and lets out this breath towards you. And so this breath, this cloud of kind of cinders and ash kind of rushes towards you, Boo, on this platform. But you manage to kind of fling your arm up in front of your eyes here, and it doesn't seem to have any effect on you. You manage to protect yourself from this attack. Smoke Method 6, he moves a bit forwards, a little bit out of range from Blossom, and Smoke Method 2 does the same. He also kind of moves forward in the room here. Which brings us to Jenku.
I'm going to attack 8 with my flail.
Okay, flail away. That hits. Roll damage on that. Fantastic. Alright, so you swing your flail around in the air, and this seems, as it strikes into this smoke method, you seem to have kind of whiffed right through a kind of a main chunk of its body. Like the bottom half of it seems to kind of wisp away. Like its head, the top half, and its like arms are still there, but the bottom half of it you seem to have kind of wisped away with your flail here. It doesn't seem to be looking too good. Anything else on your turn, Jenku?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Which brings us back to the top with Boo.
I'll target number. Actually, yeah, I'll target number 8, not number 5 here.
Okay. Alright. So he fails against that. Alright. So you told the dead this bell rings out on this method here, and it kind of screeches its last little and its smoke fully dissipates. This method is no more. Alright, anything else? Okay.
Nope.
Alright, which brings us to smoke method number... oh no, he's not there. Zara, that brings us to you.
I'm going to target smoke method number 5.
Okay.
And I'm just going to do Sacred Flame again.
Sacred Flame? Okay, fire away. Alright, so you cast your Sacred Flame, and it does manage to... I think Sacred Flame, I think, still does damage even on a success. If you want to read its details, I think it's half on success. Or maybe not.
No.
No, it doesn't? Okay, darn. Alright, so that Sacred Flame kind of descends from the air above the smoke method, and it manages to dodge out of the way of that. Anything else on your turn, Sarah?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Jinku.
I am going to shoot at number 3 with my longbow.
Okay, fire away. Alright, so you shoot out with your longbow here, and this kind of whizzes off into the fog, clanks against this brick wall, and kind of disappears into the dark below, unfortunately. Anything else? Nope. Okay. Mix.
Can Mix see number 3 between Jinko and Zyra?
Yeah, you can see number 3. It's a little difficult to see just with the size of Jinku in the way there. But if you did want to get through, like, you could try getting onto that platform with Boo if you wanted to get out there for a better view.
I'm gonna go for it. What do I have to roll?
Roll for athletics.
This is not my strong suit.
Well, Mix, as you run towards, you run out to jump to this platform, you surprise yourself as well with your ability to jump here, and you kind of stumble a little bit as you land on the platform. You almost lose grip of this bomb that you're holding, which is a little scary of a thought, but you do manage to land on this platform next to Boo. Okay, and you let out an Eldritch Blast towards Smoke Method 3, but it unfortunately crackles into the fog and just kind of dissipates in that. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Alright, so Smoke Method 4. Smoke Method 4, it tries... it opens up its mouth at you, Blossom, and tries to breathe this same breath that Boo got hit with earlier. And as this kind of cloud of cinders and ash kind of assaults your eyes, you find yourself blinded for a little bit. You find these ash and cinders kind of get into your eyes, and you find yourself rubbing at them, trying to get them out. So you are currently blinded from that effect. Smoke Method 2 flies over towards this platform with Mix and Boo, and tries to strike with its claws at Mix and misses. Smoke Method 3 also flies down towards this platform and tries to strike with its claws at Boo. It gets a critical hit. Ooh. Dealing 8 slashing damage to you, Boo. This method just zipped in there and got a big old good swing on you as that came zipping in out of the fog. Blossom. You're currently blinded. You're kind of like rubbing the cinders out of your eyes with one hand. What are you up to?
Well, I want to try to attack number 4 again.
Okay. Go ahead. And that manages to hit. You manage to get enough of these cinders out of your eyes that you strike. Go ahead and roll damage on that for me here. Fantastic. So you actually managed to get quite a good swing on this smoke method here. Perhaps the rage of this getting this crap in your eyes awoke something a little bit in you here, and you got a good hard whack on it, whiffing off quite a big chunk of this kind of smoke method's cloudy aura of itself. It isn't looking too great after that hit. Which brings us to Smoke Mephit 6, who comes in here and... let's see here... Smoke Mephit 6 moves past you, Blossom, and also tries to go down towards this other platform here with the other two. Doesn't manage to make it all the way. It kind of hovers over this second platform in this room. And Smoke Mephit 5 flies up a little bit further, kind of in between Mix and Zyara. And he targets Jinku with its claws and misses terribly.
How? I'm huge!
That is a very good question. Which brings us back to the top with Blossom.
There's just a lot of smoke.
Alright, let's swing again.
Fire away. And that hits. You are still hitting through this blindness. Roll that damage for me. Fantastic. So you swing this great axe through the Smoke Mephit, and it manages to dissipate here. It kind of leaves behind this kind of thick, kind of hard to see through cloud of smoke that kind of hangs in the air for a little bit after it passes away, but this one is gone. Smoke Mephit 4. Yeah, okay. Alright, which brings us to Zyara. Okay, with Sacred Flame? Or something else? Okay. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to save spell slots if I can.
Okay. Alright, so you cast the Sacred Flame down at Smoke Mephit 5, and it manages to kind of dissipate enough around this flame so that it does not touch it. Which brings us to Smoke Mephit. Or nope. Boo. That brings us to Boo.
I'm gonna ring my bell.
Ring that bell. Alright, you toll your bell on these. These don't seem to be very wise. And your bell seems to have a decent effect on these guys. So your bell rings out here and deals a good bit of damage to the Smoke Mephit in front of you. Anything else, Boo? Okay. Alright. Smoke Mephit 2. This Smoke Mephit kind of turns towards Mix here and kind of lets out this cinder-filled breath in your direction. And Mix, you managed to also kind of get your cloak up in front of your eyes. You know, you had caught a glimpse of what Boo did before, and were able to keep this from getting into your face too much. Let's see. That brings us to Jinku.
I'm going to attack 5 with my flail.
Right, flail away. That hits. All right. So you flail at this smoke method here, kind of striking off one of its kind of wispy arms here with your flail as you whip that around in their direction. Mix. You're on this platform with Boo. Methods all around you. What are you up to?
I'm gonna throw a witching bolt at Smoke Method 2.
Okay. What does the witching bolt do?
It's a beam of crackling blue energy. It lances toward the creature within range, forming a sustained arc of lightning between you and the target. Yeah, make a ranged spell attack. Yada yada yada.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
The cool part about that one is it holds. When you hit, it holds.
So he just has this like kind of constant arc of lightning towards this creature until it dies or he breaks concentration, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Okay. Very nice. All right. So this witch bolt. What color is this lightning that shoots out of you, Mix?
Mix is kind of an evil bastard, so it's gonna be red.
It's gonna be red. Okay. All right. So this red lightning kind of arcs out of your hand here. It actually kind of arcs along, one of the chains here a little bit, and bounces to this method, and does a significant amount of damage to it. This lightning is kind of coursing. You see it kind of crackling through its, kind of smoky form, dealing heavy damage to this. This guy does not look so great. Anything else, Mix? All right. Which brings us to Smoke Method 6. So Smoke Method 6, it moves back a little bit, seeing that its companion passed away, and tries to strike with its claws at... Oops, I think I did that. Oh wait, nope, that's right, okay. I had to roll that just once. So it gets a critical hit with its claws on you, with your blindness blossom, dealing 5 damage with its claws to you, digging into you as you're still kind of recovering from this cinder that got into your eyes. Smoke Method 3 tries to strike at Boo with its claws and hits, dealing 6 damage to Boo, and Boo collapses onto this disc. This smoke method kind of hangs over Boo as he lays there, kind of, collapsing onto the ground, and you see it kind of have an evil grin kind of wisping into its smoky face. Smoke Method 5 tries to claw at Jinku and hits. Man, these guys are really good critical hits. Wow. Dealing 9 damage to you, Jinku, getting a pretty hefty hit on you as well. Which brings us back to the top. Boo, you are down, and your death roll was a success, so that's good. On the right track.
Cool.
Smoke. Let's see. Smoke Method 6. This method tries to attack at you again, Blossom. And does manage to hit. Dealing an additional 6 damage to you. Mix. You've got the Witch Bolt. So does that Witch Bolt, do you roll damage on that each time it comes up on your turn? Is that right? Or is it on the creature's turn that rolls the damage again?
It's on my turn as an action. Here's my question.
Yeah.
I have the power of healing light. Is that an action or a bonus?
Is that like one of your kind of racial or class features or something like that?
It is a class feature from my chosen path.
Let me pull up your character sheet here and take a look. Healing light. Looks like it says it's a bonus action according to the details in Healing Light. So you could do that as a bonus action if you wanted to, in addition to your witching bolt. Looks like you have like
Okay,
a healing pool that you can draw from.
Yeah, I have 3 die 6. I just don't have it programmed where I can roll that and apply it to somebody for some reason.
Okay. Well, we can deal with programming that, but yeah, however many dice you're wanting to spend on whoever, we'll go ahead and just roll for those, and they can just manually put that healing towards themselves. All right. So this Eldritch Blast. Or wait, were you not doing the Witch Bolt?
Oh crap! I rolled the wrong thing.
Here, let me fix that here. One second. That's to method 2. Here, I'll fix that. Okay, go ahead and do the Witch Bolt then. Very nice. Alright, so that Witch Bolt lightning crackles again out of you, or continues to crackle, kind of a strengthened burst of it crackles through this arc that you have held against it, and Smoke Method 2 dissipates as that passes into it. Move him. Alright, and who are you using that healing pool on?
I am going to throw 6 at Boo and 2 at Blossom.
Okay, so Boo, Blossom, go ahead and manually add those into, or take those off your wound, as this healing light from Mix descends upon the both of you. And Boo, you're back up, kind of shaking yourself off, finding yourself in the middle of this kind of swaying platform here. Alright. Smoke Method 5. Again, tries to strike. Well, this time the Smoke Method tries to let out this cindery breath in your direction. Jinku, let's see how you fare. And Jinku, you seem to learn quickly. Seeing the same thing happen to Boo and to Mix, you manage to shield your eyes as this kind of cloud of cindery ash flows towards them. Blossom, you got Smoke Method 6 right in front of you here in this platform.
I'll take a swing at him.
Swing away. That hits. Fantastic. Alright, so you strike out at Smoke Method 6. You kind of seem to significantly chop through one of his kind of dangling, seemingly vestigial legs of sorts that hang below this flying creature. Anything else on your turn, Blossom?
Nope, that would be it.
Okay, Zara.
I'm going to use my crossbow on Smoke Method 5.
Okay, go ahead and fire away with that. That hits. Go ahead and roll that damage. Alright, so you fire this crossbow through Smoke Method 5. You know, it kind of whizzes through it and tings off the wall behind it as well. He isn't looking too great. He kind of wavers back and forth a little bit in the air. The smoke's kind of dissipating off of him there. He seems to have taken quite a heavy bit of damage here. Anything else on your turn?
No.
Okay. Alright, Jinku.
I'm gonna hit 5 again.
That hits. Alright, and that flail strikes true, smashing through what remains of this Smoke Method. It dissipates into kind of a thick cloud of smoke in front of you guys as this passes away. Alright, anything else on your turn, Jinku?
Nope.
Okay. Alright. Smoke, Mephit 3. It sees Vu, kind of getting up back off the ground, trying to regain his strength here, and he lets out this ashen-filled breath in your direction, Boo. And manages...
It auto-failed me because I'm on...
Oh, are you still unconscious? Oh, you shouldn't be unconscious.
Yeah.
How do I take that effect off of you?
You click on the little boot-looking thingamajig where it shows the effects for my character, and then you gotta click the little delete button on the... I don't know if it'll make a difference. I'd use my reaction to do an arcane deflection here as well and add +4 to that roll. So
Okay.
it would have been a 13.
Let me check. That would have passed. So if you were going to arcane deflect, that would have passed. You are not blinded.
Sweet.
Thank you for letting me know that. All right, fixed that. You're back up. You're not unconscious. All right, so this cloud manages to pass over you as well. Boom. All right, back up to the top of the round with Smoke Mephit 6. We'll go ahead and... Oops. He strikes out with his claws at you, Blossom, and just completely misses it. Seems the damage that you've been wailing on this here has gotten a bit to it, and it is not as accurate as it wants to be. Boo, Smoke Mephit 3 hovers in front of you. What are you up to?
Or my magic missile.
Alright, magic missile away. Alright, so these magic missiles, shoot out of you, dealing a total of 11 damage to this Mephit. These seem to have taken quite a bit off of it. It kind of reels a bit as these strike through it. It doesn't seem to look quite as great. Mix.
I'm gonna use Eldritch Blast on Method 3.
Great. That hits. Alright, and that deals a good 8 damage to Mephit 3. This guy's looking significantly worse for wear. He seems to be kind of wisping away quite a bit. There doesn't seem to be too much left of him after that hit. Smoke Mephit 3 kind of angrily flies towards you, Mix. And tries to strike at you with its claws. Managing to get a hit in. Dealing 3 damage to you. Zara.
I guess I will target Smoke Mephit 3 with my crossbow.
Okay. That hits. Roll damage for me. Fantastic. That crossbow bolt flies true, piercing right through the head of the Smoke Mephit, and it kind of, as it falls, it kind of dissipates. You kind of hits the side of this hanging disc and then kind of dissipates into the fog below.
Lovely.
Alright. Anything else on your turn at all?
Nope.
Okay. Blossom. 1 Mephit left. Alright, you swing at the Smoke Mephit. You were doing so well, blinded. Not so well, not blinded somehow. And this whiffs through the air beneath it. Jinku. The lone Mephit hovers in front of Blossom. Alright, you let loose your longbow, and that strikes true. Roll the damage for me. Doing 10 damage to this Mephit. Blossom kind of ducks out of the way as some of this smoke kind of dissipates right past him here from this arrow whizzing through it. And back to the top of the round with Boo.
I'll ring the bell.
Ring the bell. Oh, wait. Wait, mix wave.
This one mixes.
Ignore that.
Oh, ignore that. Okay. Well, it missed anyway, so... go ahead and ring your bell, Boo.
I did it.
Very nice. That Toll the Dead takes hold and rings, and this smoke method kind of lets out a kind of infernal screech as it dissipates into nothingness. And you find yourself left alone in this room with the fog below you, just the creak of these chains as they kind of swing back and forth. This sword still dangles at the other end of this room on the farthest platform. And you're out of combat. What do you guys get up to here?
I want to try to jump to the next platform.
Alright, athletics for me. Fantastic. Wonderful jump. 10 out of 10. Lands right in the middle of that next platform. And if you want to continue, go ahead and roll however many more. It looks like 3 more athletics checks if you want to get all the way to that westernmost platform. We'll see how each one of these goes. Alright. This athletics check, jumping to the next platform. This one, again, you kind of stumble a bit, but you do manage to catch yourself and get onto that next platform, kind of balancing yourself for a moment as you stand back up. Alright, this next jump goes quite a bit better. You kind of land squarely on the next platform, keeping your balance, grabbing onto those chains on either side. You do see, as you're getting close to this platform with the sword, there seems to be a little satchel attached to the sword as well, hanging with it on this short chain in the middle of this platform. One more jump. Beautiful. Beautiful jump. Right in the middle. And this sword is within your grasp, as well as what appears to be a small sachet of something or other attached to the kind of the pommel end of it.
I will take both.
All right. So you take both of these. Let me drop these in the party sheet here. So you take a look at this satchel here and open it up, and it appears that this contains 75 gold pieces tucked into this satchel. And this sword that you found sparkles with light as you kind of pick this up in your hand and kind of unsheath it from the sheath that it is stored in. As you kind of pull this out and hold this up, it seems to kind of sparkle with the kind of an aspect of moonlight and sheds pretty bright light in a radius around you as you wield this sword.
Ooh.
So those are both in the party sheet. The 75 gold and the moon-touched longsword are both for you there. So feel free to grab those. And you do see also, as you're on this western platform, that there is that barred window, which seems to lead, or seems to be at the end of some hallway somewhere else in this complex. It seems to come to an end to this barred window looking over this room. But the bars appear quite thick. It doesn't appear that there would be any way to really get a good, to bend them, because there's no platform under it. You'd be hanging off of it over the void. But you do note that from where you're at. Alright. And just to make things simple, the three of you that are out on the platform, just go ahead and roll one more athletics check for me, and we'll kind of count that as getting back off of these. So rolling like 7 more athletics checks seems a bit excessive to me. So, all right. Blossom, go ahead and roll that last athletics check as you make your way back across.
How do I get that gold out of the party sheet?
You should. Here, let me see if I can manually give it to you. No, that didn't work. Here, I'll put it in your bag. 86. Okay. That is now in your inventory. I just added that manually for you. Okay. So go ahead and roll that athletics check for me, Blossom, as you get out. Sweet. All 3 of you managed to make it back out of this room, and you're back on solid ground in the hallway, glittering sword in hand, and a little bit richer. And this would be a good spot to take a quick break. So go ahead and stand up, stretch your legs, get a drink, and we'll be back in 10 or so.
Boo, do you want me to cure you really quick?
We're back. Alright. So, where we last left off, we got the sword, got some loot out of this big room. You've uncovered all the doors that you can see in this hallway here. As far as you can tell, you pretty well looked through most of this side of things, aside from the one silver door way back earlier that you didn't have a key to. But there is a whole other direction from the very beginning that you didn't go. So you got some places to explore.
Well, guys, I don't know about the rest of you, but I think we should take the valuables we have back, exchange it for the gold, and come back and do the rest of this place later.
Or we could just finish it and get more money potentially.
I think with a brief rest we could manage.
Alright.
With what you've done to help, I'm still a little scuffed up, but you've helped enough that I think if we maybe went back to the beginning there and rested for an hour or so, we might be able to push on a little ways further. I have some tricks up my sleeve yet, and I'll pinch him on his nose with prestidigitation or mage hand or something.
Boo, you bastard. I expended most of my healing abilities back there. Can anybody else heal?
I
We
can
have
heal
a
you if you're
cleric.
needing of it.
Yeah, they
Well.
are as a cleric.
Let's go.
Alright, so you guys make your way back to that beginning split just inside the entrance. Let's see. And you managed to make it all the way back without any particular incident. Things still seem to be pretty cleared from what you've gone through. So go ahead and make your ways back to that first split towards the entrance here. So, you find yourself again in front of this mural back at the beginning of the blue alley here, again with the various depictions of adventurers falling into traps, including somehow depictions of yourselves among.
Has it changed any?
From what you can remember and from what you can tell, no, it doesn't seem to have changed. You still are able to find yourselves among the mural of the various depicted adventurers, but nothing seems to be different. It still has you all depicted falling into various traps and things. And again, like before, there is the word silver painted above an arrow pointing to the east, and an arrow with the word gold painted above pointing to the west, the hallway that you had not yet gone to. You also recall from, I think it was Mix when he looked at this before, found a small inscription that read, 50 feet south of the barred window is a secret door. So, bear that in mind. Alright. Did you proceed down the... Oh wait, so you guys do rest. We'll go ahead and take a short rest then.
Must have short rested before. Well, no, we didn't.
There we go. Okay. So if you need to roll hit die, go ahead and roll hit die to heal yourself up. You guys rest here. Let's see if the... And you guys managed to rest without any incident here in this fork in the hallway here.
How generous of you and your dice.
I'm trying to remember. Does a warlock get a spell slot back after a short rest?
I don't know off the top of my head. Let me see.
Because when you applied that short rest, I got a spell slot back.
Oh, really? Interesting. Oh, they do. Warlock spell slots do return on a short rest. That is interesting.
Let's go.
I did not know that.
Let's go.
All of them, or
You regain all expended slots when you finish a short or
Nice.
long rest, according to PHP page 107.
nice.
That's fucking sick. I didn't know that.
I only get one back on a short rest. Hey, yeah.
Damn.
You lead the way this time. I'm shoving you into room.
Dude, I didn't. If I'd realized I could have blown my load back there with a short rest, I'd have done a lot more damage.
Well, now you know. Now you know. You can blow your load everywhere. So. Phrasing.
That's really honestly his favorite thing to do. So
All right, let me uncover some stuff for you here as you guys are walking around. So, you
Let's
guys,
go.
you make your way. You, come on. Oh, that's why I don't have the masking turn layer selected. That would help. All right, so you guys are making your way down this western hall here. And as you're going along, you see that there is a door on the right-hand side. And this door is appears to be made out of ivory. Like the entire thing is coated in this ivory material and is carved with figures of various carnivorous animals like lions and tigers and wolves and such eating their prey. Kind of.
I don't like this door.
But
It's
are there
ivory.
any bears?
There are bears. Oh my. Lions, tigers, wolves, and bears. Nice. Very nice.
when I remember Sirenscape, it's for comic relief.
Darn it. At your service. Alright, so, so there's this ivory door on the western wall. Let me uncover a little bit more here for you guys. The pathway does continue to extend. You see that it branches off to the west. And also heads north up some stairs to another door as well.
I'm gonna look at this ivory door and see if I can take it.
Okay.
I kind of want to put this on my room banner.
Okay. So go ahead and do a athletics check for me as you're kind of testing this door, seeing if it opens or anything.
Can I help him with my -1?
You can help him, sure.
I don't think he needs help.
No, but while this is happening, Jinku's gonna kind of just look sad because, ivory, elephant.
Fair.
Yeah, Mix. Very insensitive.
Jerk.
I want this to be the door to my lair. What's the problem with that? This would be a great
Ivory.
way to my house of horrors.
You are a horror.
That he is.
Mix is gonna shake his bomb in Jinko's direction and go, "Yes, I am. I am a horror."
And I'm gonna glare at him with the biggest glare you've ever seen.
Alright. So Mix, as you're trying to jiggle with this door here, it seems to be pretty solidly locked. It doesn't really seem to move too much as you're trying to fiddle with it here.
Ha!
Anybody have a crowbar?
No, but I believe I've seen Zayara fiddling around with doors when she thought people weren't looking. Perhaps she can give it a shot, huh?
Zyara, please. I really want this door.
Zyra just kind of glances at Jinku.
Perhaps we should see what's inside at least. I don't know if I would help him get the door myself. I think that's on you. See if you can carry that. But I'm curious as to what's behind it. Behind such a door like
That at least I can agree with. So am I just picking the lock?
Yeah, go ahead and just do a dexterity check. With it, and it should be with advantage because you're using your thief tools that you're proficient with.
There's actually like a formula to roll on tool.
All right. So Zara, you come up to this door with your thieves' tools and begin to work away at it. And you do actually manage to find the spots in the lock's tumbler and pick through it, and this ivory door swings open. So beyond the ivory door here, you find a small room, and the walls of this room are stone, and they are whitewashed, and they are painted with images of treasure chests of varying sizes all over the place. And every single one of these pictured chests are all open, and every single chest is also depicted as having sharp teeth.
Hey, Mix, you should go in there.
There's also a reinforced wooden chest sitting against the southern wall with the lid closed.
I do not think I would open that chest if I were you.
There's probably treasure in it, Mix.
The treasure of death?
Mix is gonna look at this chest to see what he can do. He
Don't
goes back to the door to see if he can take it off the hinges.
don't touch it, you idiot.
So you're going to inspect this chest?
I'm going to inspect it from a little ways back.
If you touch it, I will leave you here. I can do.
And from standing a little ways back, looking at the chest, it again appears to be a reinforced wooden chest. It doesn't appear to have a lock on it. Like, the front doesn't have any sort of locking mechanism at all. So you aren't sure if it even is locked, since it doesn't have a keyhole. It doesn't have any of that kind of metal structure you would typically see in a lockable chest.
Mix likes treasure, so he's gonna try to open it.
If it's a trap, Jenku is just gonna hold the door shut.
Oh, you bet your ass I will.
If it's a trap, can I, like, if it seems dangerous, I would like to be ready to cast Chaos Bolt at whatever.
Okay, so you have that. Go ahead and have that ready. So Mix, you open this chest, and it opens right up. Actually, it's not locked at all. And in this chest, you see that there is 24 gold pieces, 267 silver pieces, a small bronze bell, and a silver key that is wrapped in velvet cloth. And I'll chuck all this over into the party sheet here.
The silver key is what we needed for that locked door, wasn't it?
It was. It appears to match the depictions of that silver door on the other side of the place. And as you're kind of rifling through this chest and picking these items out, the bell, the key, the various coins and such, the ceiling drops behind you, Boo, and kind of forms into the shape of a mimic. The entire ceiling was a mimic.
I knew it was a trap.
Well,
Okay.
while the ceiling's doing this, Mix is going to grab the gold, silver, everything out of here and just shove it in his bag.
Okay. You do notice, Mix, as you're shoving these things into your bag, like, the bell, is being, jumbled about as you're doing this, but doesn't make any sound as you're shoving this into your bag. So you just kind of note that in your head as you're putting that in. So everybody go ahead and roll initiative. The ceiling is a mimic and drops behind you.
Ceiling is a
You
mimic,
have to
everything
do
is a mimic.
the golden shit.
Oh,
My
that's
mom
right.
is a mimic.
It's currently all on the party sheet. I'll figure out. I'll give that to people in a little after this.
So you can just click the down button and it'll do it for you when we get.
Oh, it'll just like distribute it evenly.
Mm-hmm. If you click the down arrow, it gives it to everybody.
All right, that's done. Sorted. All right, so this mimic lands behind you, kind of polymorphing into the shape of a treasure chest as it falls from the ceiling. Teeth sticking out. Typical mimic shit. Bringing to Boo. You had Chaos Bolt ready to anything that appeared. I assume you're gonna let that off on this thing. That hits. Go ahead and roll that damage. Nice. And how does Chaos Bolt work? Does that have any sort of like elemental thing to it, or?
Yeah, I gotta roll a d8 here
Okay.
to determine the damage type. So it does the 2d8 and the d6. One of the d8s, like the second one, I guess, does I roll a d8 to determine type on the second d8. The first one is just like chaotic energy. The second one is fire in this case.
Okay. All right. So your Chaos Bolt kind of crackles through the air out of you onto this mimic as it's kind of falling behind you onto the ground, slavering wildly in your direction, doing quite a decent bit of damage to it. And it kind of makes kind of an odd gurgling sound as this kind of zaps into its tongue that's kind of lolling out of its toothy treasure chest mouth. Anything else on your turn, Boo?
I'm gonna jump back and yell for Jenku. Jenku, Vic's got us into trouble again.
Leave him in there.
Jinku didn't want anything to do with this.
All right. Anything else, Boo?
No, that's it. I'm just trying to get the hell away from it.
Okay. Mix. A hungry
Mix is
mimic
gonna-
stands behind you.
Been around, and he's gonna throw Witch Bolt at this.
All right. Witch Bolt him up.
Nice.
Crit hit on that Witch Bolt. Beautiful. Go ahead and roll damage on that for me.
Nice.
Oh, very nice. All right. So that crackles through this red lightning energy, and it kind of crackles around like the metal bindings on the edges of this mimic treasure chest, and does quite a significant bit of damage. And this red arcing energy is now cracking through the air between you and the mimic. Anything else, Mix?
Nope.
All right. Blossom, you hear some shouts of surprise and concern coming from Boo inside this room, and you heard a thud as something seemed to have dropped somewhere. What are you up to?
I'm gonna move up to the door.
All right. You move up to the door and see this mimic staring at the two in the back corner of its room, its tongue kind of lolling around in its mouth here.
I want to try out my new sword on it.
All right. Go ahead. As you pull the sword out of its sheath, it has this radiant moonlight and brightly lights up the area around you in about a 15-foot area, and kind of dim light beyond that. So it's very bright around you as you hit. And that hits. Go ahead and roll damage on that. Nice. So that longsword slashes through this mimic, doing quite a bit of damage to one of the kind of gangly arms that's sticking out of one of its sides of this chest box here. All right. Anything else on your turn, Blossom?
Nope, that would be it.
Okay. Zara, Blossom's rushed up behind you here. Mimic on the ground through the door.
Heist on it.
Okay.
Wait, I need to target it first.
All right. So you swing down your mace
That sucked.
towards this mimic, and kind of the awkwardness of trying to reach through the door along with Blossom, you don't manage to get a good strike onto it. Anything else?
No.
All right, Jinku.
I am going to move up and position myself by Zyara. I will ready my flail. But I will only attack if that thing comes at me or Zyara. I'm gonna have a petty girl moment right now.
All right.
That's great.
All right. And okay, so Jinku moves up. So this mimic kind of moves a little bit towards you two in the back of its room. It seems to be kind of gleeful that you two seem to be trapped between it and the back wall. And it extends out one of its kind of strange, kind of gangly arms on one side and moves to strike at you, Mix, since you had fiddled around with the chest here. And misses. You manage to dodge out of the way of this arm as it kind of comes down, kind of grasping at your legs. Which brings us to Boo.
Well, I'm gonna ring the bell at it.
Ring the bell. All
Okay.
right. And that does not take, unfortunately. Is that it?
Good. Yep.
Okay. Jinku.
Just standing here, ready to hit it if it attacks me or Zyara.
All right. Jinku continues to be petty. All right. Blossom.
I'm gonna use my sword again.
Okay. Strike away. All right. The moonlight shines as you bring this down on this mimic. Roll damage on that hit. Fantastic. So you strike, dealing another 7 damage to this mimic. You seem to have severed the arm on its right side there, at least. So something is down. Anything else, Blossom?
Nope, that would be it.
Fantastic. All right. So let's see. Alright, so this mimic moves up a little further towards you, since one of its arms has been severed off, and tries to take a bite at you with its kind of gaping, toothy, open treasure chest looking mouth. And hits. Dealing 13 damage, or wait. Oh yeah, dealing 13 damage to you, Mix. And part of that, you feel some of that burning at you, as some of this is acid. This seems to have kind of an acidic quality to its saliva as it tries to bite at you. You do manage to hold your concentration, though, through this, which is good for you. Which brings us to Sarah.
I'm gonna, I guess, attack it with my Sacred Flame.
Okay. Alright, that hits it. Alright, so your Sacred Flame descends on this mimic, kind of burning around this kind of wooden frame of it, dealing a bit of damage to it. It seems to have taken quite a bit of a beating from you guys so far. It looks a little bit kind of out of shape at the moment. You guys seem to be doing good work towards it. Mix, your Witch Bolt is still up, so go ahead and roll that. and whatever else you plan to do. Mix. Did we lose Mix?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay, sweet. So you're up. Your Witch Bolt is still up. You kept your concentration, so you can do that if you wish, as well as whatever else you're planning on doing. Alright, Witch Bolt does another 4 damage to this Mimic. It is looking pretty worse for wear at the moment. Anything else?
No.
Alright. Which brings us back around to Boo again at the top. Boo is
okay, I'll ring the...
Boo is feeling the initiative this time around.
Yeah, I'll got goonish.
Alright, that bell takes hold. Go ahead and roll the damage on that. Alright, this bell kind of rings out in a small stone room and deals a bit more damage to this Mimic. It is not looking so hot. Blossom.
Gonna try my new sword again.
Alright. Alright. Moonlight shines as you draw this out of its sheath and strike this Mimic. Go ahead and roll the damage on that. Alright, so this descends on the Mimic, dealing 4 more damage. This thing looks about ready to bust into pieces here. So the Mimic. This Mimic kind of reaches for you, Mix, and tries to grapple with you.
How's a mimic grapple with one arm?
It has a very large tongue as well. It tries to grapple with its tongue and remaining arm onto Mix to try to kind of...
Its tongue is prehensile.
So grapples what? Like it's like a strength contest, right? I think. All right, so go ahead and roll a strength save throw for me, Mix. Okay, so this Mimic attempts to grapple you, reaching you with its remaining arm and its tongue, kind of trying to reach around your legs and pull you prone. And it does manage to get a hold on you, Mix. You are currently grappled by this Mimic. Let me see how I do that. Is there a way to manually add effects?
Yeah, in the top right, there's the little...
The boot.
It looks like a guy walking.
Yeah, the boot.
And you click that.
Uh-huh.
No, top right of the screen.
Oh,
way top right.
Top right of the screen.
Those little tiny buttons, there's 7 of them.
Ah,
Click on the one that looks like it's walking, and it has a list of effects. You click and drag them on the character.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. The Mimic's not grappled, you're grappled. That's cool. Okay, grappled to Mix. Okay, cool. So you are currently grappled by this Mimic. As you struggle away. Jinku, you are still outside the door. You've been hearing some lovely sounds from inside. Are you still petty?
No, I'm gonna step in. I'm gonna take a whack at the Mimic with the...
Alright.
Everybody gets one.
That hits. Roll the damage. Alright, so Jinku steps in at the last moment after standing there in a petty rage, watching this happen, and saves your butt. She takes it out with 1 strike.
Now, Mix, just know that if you touch that ivory door, I will let the next thing kill you.
All right.
Jinku, would you rather have the ivory door stay here, or for us to be profited by it?
Don't touch the ivory door.
You should probably listen. She might cut you.
She's stronger than everyone in the party combined. Come on.
I'm a giant ass elephant. I will sit on you.
Wait. We have to go get Curry, and then you can go sit on him.
All right. So you managed to make it out of this small room. You've got the silver key, and also the various contents of this chest. You still haven't heard any noise from that bell that jangled as you were shoving it into your bag. So you're not quite sure what's up with that. But you are back in this hallway here now.
Yeah. I dragged the bell into my bag and I'm not seeing it.
If I need to, I can give it to you again. One second.
Is the car the LAR?
Here, I dropped it in the party sheet again. Go ahead and re-grab that. I don't see it in your inventory either.
Okay, Jinku. If I can't have this door, nobody can. How would you feel about us destroying it?
I don't want you to touch it.
Alright, so you guys are all standing here in this hall as Jiku and Mix fight over this door. The hall extends to the west, seems to go around a corner, and then you also have some stairs in front of you here that lead up to a door.
Mix is pouting. He's like, okay. Fine.
Jinku looks a little triumphant, but she's not moving until Mix walks away from the door.
Okay. Where are you guys heading in here?
I'm heading around the corner.
You're heading around the corner? Okay. Let me cover a bit more of this here. Alright, so Zara, as you go around this corner here, you see that there is a door to your west, and then this hallway extends for quite a long ways to the north and seems to bend a bit to the right, a ways down at the other end. But other than that, the hall seems to be pretty featureless, just the kind of base, kind of blue glittering stone that is fairly common throughout the rest of this dungeon.
I'm gonna check out the door.
Okay. Alright, so you take a look at this door, and upon opening it, you see a staircase. And so the staircase extends upwards, and appear to be blanketed in quite an exquisite rug. It's covered in geometric patterns and rich colors throughout the entire length of the stairs.
I think Zayara understandably is a little hesitant about fancy looking rugs in the middle of nowhere now. I think she's going to leave the staircase for the time being and go down the hall.
Okay. So you go down the hall, and you continue to see that this extends for quite a ways and then bends to the right. Do you go far enough to kind of look around that bend at all?
Yeah.
Okay. So looking around that bend, you find yourself on the other side of that barred window that you had noticed while you were in the room with the swinging platforms.
A barred window, you say?
Yes, a barred window indeed.
Can I go 50 feet south of the barred window?
You can go 50 feet south of the barred window if you so desire.
I would like to.
All right. So you go 50 feet south of the barred window here and are kind of checking along the walls. Go ahead and do a perception check for me as you're kind of, looking along the walls here, trying to find it. All right. So you do manage to find, kind of smoothly jointed in with the rest of the stone, appears to be a secret door that opens inwards.
Nice.
So you push this open, and you find yourself in a room that appears to be some kind of like wine, like a wine cellar of some sort. There are racks of wine bottles that line the outer walls of this chamber, and you also kind of notice in the northwest corner, behind one of the wine racks, there appears to be a small golden door behind one of the wine racks and barrels. You can kind of catch like a glint of it in the lamplight as you're kind of looking around. But there are various kind of wine bottles in these racks around.
Okay. Am I able to get to the door, or do I have to move the wine rack?
It would need to be moved to get right at it. There's a rack in front of it with various bottles on it.
Okay. I attempt to move the wine rack.
Okay, go ahead and do a strength. Do an athletics check for me as you try to pull this over. All right. So you do manage to move this. It seems like a lot of the bottles and things that are on this particular wine rack are empty. So there isn't a lot of liquid weight going on here. You do manage to move this out of the way, and you find about a 2-foot high gold-plated door on the wall here. And it looks like there is a small coin slot on it.
Okay. Can I attempt to open the door?
Yeah, you can. Go ahead and do like just a strength check. All right. As you try to kind of fiddle with the door here, it seems pretty solidly locked with some kind of mechanism. You aren't able to get it open at all.
I take a gold coin out of my coin purse and try and put it in the door.
Okay. So you drop this into this coin slot. You kind of hear some clinking on the other side, but it doesn't seem to have any effect with this particular coin.
Okay. Did I see anything else around the room that has anything to do with this door? Or is it just all wine?
In here, I mean, looking around, you find there are a few of these bottles that are still full.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take a look here. So some of these appear to be full of some kind of fluid. There's 5 of them that are still full. Go ahead and roll an um, roll an Arcana check for me as you're kind of looking over these bottles. Okay. So as you're looking at these, just from like what you can tell from the way that it kind of sloshes around in there, it doesn't appear that it's actually wine. You aren't quite sure what it is, but it seems like to be some sort of alchemical substance.
Okay. I poke my head out into the hallway
Mm-hmm.
and basically call for Mix and say, hey, I have something in here that might interest you.
Okay. Mix, do you come take a look at these?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, go ahead and roll an Arcana check for me as you take a look over these. With advantage, since that's your kind of your thing. Cool. Alright, so you take a look over these bottles, and from what you know of the alchemical side of things, these appear, all 5 of these appear to be usable as alchemist's fire. So flasks of alchemist's fire. So what these are is the fluid in here is somewhat adhesive, and it ignites when it is exposed to air. So you can, chuck these at things. They're basically a Molotov cocktail of sorts as soon as you open it. So you now have 5 of these that are at your disposal. They're in the party sheet now for whoever wants to take them.
Do you want to split them up?
I'm going to tell everybody what these do, and I'm going to take one and suggest how everybody takes one.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll take one.
Everybody take a cocktail. All right.
Don't drink it.
Fire fun.
So you have this alchemist fire. Aside from these bottles, aside from that small golden door that you weren't quite sure what to do with, those are the only things that are in here.
Okay. Well, I'm done in the room for now until we can figure out what to do with the door. I don't know if anyone else wants to do anything in there. Or if we should go up the stairs.
Jinko, come ring on this door. I can't have the ivory one. I want the gold one.
It's a 2-foot door.
Yeah, it is a very small door.
Oh, well, Jinko, come up in the gold door. This has to be valuable. Get your ass in.
Uh-oh. I just saw they disconnected. At least in Fantasy Grounds. Did your internet die on you?
I'm gonna guess
Jinku?
that's what must have happened.
Yeah.
It takes a minute for Discord to time out.
Oh, okay.
Fantasy Grounds is a little more picky on that peer-to-peer.
Alright. Well, we'll hold on that for a moment since Jinku is currently disconnected. Their internet's being funky. We'll come back to this door at some point. So with that, what are the rest of you up to now at this point? So you do have the silver key. You also have these stairs.
I vote that we
Stairs.
see where the stairs go
Okay.
before
Well,
we
let's
start
do this here.
backtracking. I'm
Oh.
not going up them first, though.
Okay. So these stairs are like 10-foot wide stairs. So as you're walking up these stairs, how are you walking up these stairs? Like on the sides, up the center? Like where are you guys walking?
I want to poke the rug with my sword.
Okay. You poke at the rug with your sword here. It doesn't seem to have any effect aside from poking a small hole in the rug. But go ahead and roll a perception check for me as you're kind of poking this, this very bright sword at this rug. Okay. So you're poking at this rug with your sword, and I mean, from what you can tell, poking at it, you see, quite brightly lit up the lovely geometric patterns and designs that are woven into this rug, but otherwise you don't seem to notice anything out of the ordinary, aside from the small hole you just poked in it.
Set it on fire.
Screw that, I'll roll it up and take it home.
Okay, you do
I
that.
can use a rug. It's cold in the tower. I'll kind of try and roll it up.
I mean, the
I'll
rug
try to
is...
help. I'll help him with this.
It's a 10-foot wide, 50-foot long rug, so that's going to be pretty hefty for you guys to carry out. I mean, you could try.
Oh, it looks like Jinku might be back.
It doesn't say they reconnected.
Or someone moved her.
Ghost Jinku.
Ghost Jinku.
Oh,
Well, let's consider it on our way back.
Let's try to roll this up though.
Okay, go ahead and do a strength check as you try to
Let's-
roll this up.
Should we go to the top of the stairs and try and roll it down?
No,
or
from
should
the
we try-
bottom. From the bottom.
Okay.
Blossom
Alright, let's
and I are very suspicious of rugs.
Okay. So go ahead and roll a strength check as you're doing this. Whoever.
I gotta figure out some way to augment my strength if I'm keep ending up in situations like this.
Okay. So as the three of you are trying to roll this rug, how are you guys positioned along the bottom of this rug? Is like what order are you in from left to right as you're trying to roll?
I'm probably in the middle.
You're in the middle. Okay.
I'm
I'll be
obviously not helping.
to Boo's left.
Okay.
I'll take the right.
All right. So you
I
start.
watch from the doorway.
So you do start to roll. Mix, you manage to start getting a little bit of a roll going on your side. Boo and Blossom, you don't seem to get too much of a roll going. And Boo, as you kind of you put your hands down to try to roll this rug, you find your hands immediately stuck to the surface of this rug. And as this happens, somewhere up towards the top of the stairs, you hear this booming voice say, "Laughter is the best medicine. Make me laugh." And it kind of echoes through this stone stairwell that you guys are in. And there's a bit of a echo as it rumbles around here, and Boo, you're just kind of stuck helplessly with your hands fast to the middle of this rug on the bottom step.
Jesus. Oh
I
my
didn't
god.
touch the carpet.
This is ridiculous. Oh, I just wanted a carpet. Alright, laughter. Well, I had a pizza joke that I wanted to tell you guys, but it was too cheap. And I'll try and pull my hands off while I say.
So, as you're saying this, you try pulling your hands off, and then your hands don't pull away. But, at this punny comment of yours, this voice from the top of the stairs lets out this uproarious, loud laughter that kind of shakes the stones, and just keeps peeling away with this laughter up there. And after a moment, it kind of calms down a bit and loudly proclaims, "Said so!" and then the glue adhering your hands immediately becomes inert.
Okay. Well, I guess we didn't find a free carpet, guys. Nix, you should walk up these stairs and see if you stick. I got you.
They return.
Do you guys proceed up these stairs?
Yeah, let's get the hell away from this road.
Okay. So you guys try to proceed up the stairs here, and it seems like, whatever sticky surface was up the middle of these stairs seems to have just been rendered completely inert for the time being. So you do manage to get all the way to the top without any further sticky situations.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, so you find yourself up at the top here, and get this up here. And you find, some more stairs that lead downwards and then kind of around a curving hall to another door on this end. On the north side of the end of this hall is another door.
Okay. Can I check out the door?
Yeah. This door appears to be just kind of a regular wooden door. Nothing particularly ornate about it. It doesn't appear to have a lock either.
Okay. Do I hear anything on the other side?
Go ahead and perception check for me. You do not hear anything of note coming through this wooden door.
Okay. I open the door cautiously.
Okay. So you open the door, and beyond you see kind of extends a little ways forward, and then to the right, it. Let me uncover this for you here. There we go. All right. So in this room. There is a raised dais in the center of the room here, and atop it there is a glittering gem that lays, and above this glittering gem there is a very ornately decorated longsword that hovers above it, pointed downwards at the gem, and kind of slowly just kind of rotates in place above this gem. The ceiling of this room is domed and kind of rises about 40 feet into the air above you. And they are brilliant murals of wizards and warriors and such across the plaster-covered stonework above you.
Okay. I'd like to investigate the room for any possible clues about what I assume is a puzzle.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you kind of walk a little further into this room and take a closer look at this dais. And you see that around the rim of the dais are the words, "Power pulses within me, and only a living warmth may move me."
Snag that sword. Let's get some more loot.
But is it talking about the gem or the sword?
What is
Well,
it again?
Sure.
I got a sword, and it's been a big disappointment so far.
So it reads, "Power pulses within me, and only a living warmth may move me."
And the gem is lit up? Or is it dark? Does it seem... Anything special about the?
From what you can see, there doesn't like it appears to be just kind of a regular. It's green, at least from observation of it. It looks like kind of a large green gemstone. You aren't able to get too much more information than that. Like it just appears to be a decently large green gemstone.
Fuck, I love gems.
Who is brave enough to touch the gem?
I'll do it. So this sword swings on like a slow pendulum, like around this?
No, like it hangs directly above it and just kind of rotates in place. Just kind of
Okay.
turning back and forth above the gem.
I'm gonna reach out and touch the gem and see if I can move.
Okay.
I really think this will work. I think this will do it, guys. And I'll reach out and...
Okay. So you reach out to touch this gem, and let's take a look here. One second here. So as you reach out for this gem with your hand, the sword above it drops suddenly towards you, like towards your hand here. Let's see. Go ahead and roll a dexterity save for me, quick.
Can I use... Is the sword's falling? Can I use my arcane deflection to add to that?
Sure, we'll say so.
Okay.
Okay. So you manage to pull your hand back with this gem quickly enough that it doesn't pierce through you. But after it kind of bounces off the dais, it kind of turns and like kind of floats in the air in front of you, and seems to be making moves to attack. So go ahead and roll initiative.
You should. Mix needs ungrap.
Oh, yes. I'll take the grappled off of Mix.
But why be ungrappled when we can just leave him grappled?
I'm all for it. In fact, if I
He's
read
just been
friends
walking
right,
around with like
I
the
can.
mimic tongue wrapped around him this whole time.
All right.
All right, so Boo, you are again the first to react. You're having some good initiative tonight.
Always. I'm the most intelligent of all of them.
So yes, the sword kind of bounces off the dais and is hovering in front of you here, and seems to be making moves towards you, since you were the one that grabbed the gem here. What do you do, Boo?
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna whip that bell out of my pocket. I'm gonna ring it, and
All right, and it doesn't seem to be a particularly wise sword, so go ahead and roll that damage. Great. So that bell rings out, and it seems to kind of ring through the metal of this sword, doing a decent little bit of damage here. What the heck? Alright, I don't know what happened there, but I guess... Jinku, you're up. That was weird.
I think it re-rolled initiative for some
Yeah.
I think it did.
I
Well,
was at the bottom.
yeah. Well, whatever. We'll just go into... We'll skip Boo since he just took his turn and just go to the rest of this order here. I guess. I'm not sure what happened there.
Okay. Where am I in conjunction with this sword? Because I got disconnected, so I don't have the map.
Oh, let me get that for you.
At this point, I would assume that you can just be anywhere.
Yeah, you're in this room somewhere, wherever you want to be. It's about right in the middle of the map with the big F. Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'll attack it with my flail.
Okay. That hits. Fantastic. So your flail strikes against this flying sword, kind of knocking it back a little ways in the air. It seems to have done like a decent dent into its blade. Anything else on your turn, Jinku?
Nope.
Okay, Mix.
Mix is gonna cast an Eldritch Bolt at it.
Okay. Alright, your Eldritch Bolt arcs through the air and misses. This flying sword manages to hover a little ways out of the way. Anything else? Alright.
No.
And Boo, we did your turn, so since that fucked up its roll for some reason. So Zara.
Okay. Let's see. I'm just gonna cast Sacred Flame
Okay.
since it's already pretty heavily damaged.
Yeah. It doesn't look like you're targeting the sword.
Oh. Oops. Not
Contr-
bad.
Control click. There we go. Okay, go ahead and reroll that. Alright, so your flame descends on the sword and it manages to dart a little ways out of the way of your flame. Anything else?
No.
Alright. So, the flying sword. This flying sword goes straight for Boo here and tries to strike, and it attacks twice, hitting once, missing once. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, that's... Never mind. I was going to use my arcane deflection on that attack, but that's too high.
Okay.
I'll take that damage.
Alright, so that deals 8 damage to you, Boo, as this enchanted sword strikes into you. Which brings us to Blossom.
I'm gonna go back to using my axe.
Okay, go ahead. Alright, looks good. Go ahead and roll that damage up. Alright, so you swing hard at this flying sword, and you do another massive dent into the side of its its blade. It is pretty significantly bent now with that strike. It's not looking too good for a sword. Which brings us to Boo, back at the top.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring him up. We'll wreck your face, Mr. Sword.
Alright, it is not a very wise sword.
Yeah, damn straight it's not.
Alright, so as your bell kind of rings through this sword, the vibrations kind of shatter it into pieces, and it dissipates.
I don't want this gem.
So, go ahead and roll an investigation check for me as you look into this gem. Okay. So, Boo, you look over this gem that you've taken, and you notice a couple things about it. One, inside the gem, there appears to be a replica of a very small set of iron gates. And you also notice that the gem itself appears to be pretty low quality. But, yeah, so you do notice those two things about it. Do you do anything else in this larger room?
Um,
Checking around at all?
Well, I think I'm going to at least heal Mix.
Okay.
Boo, do you also want healing?
I could use a little bit if it wouldn't strain you too much, Fred. But I can make do by being a little more careful.
Apparently, my die liked Boo a lot better than Mix.
I
Well-
think that's true for all of us.
Yes.
Burn!
Alright. Alright, do you do anything else in this room here?
Is there anything else to do in here? Like, can I take this jam and put it in my pocket?
Yeah,
Two?
you can.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Okay.
I don't know what it does. It's curious. It's a curiosity at minimum, and I'll take
Okay.
I mean, Zyara is just gonna look around a little bit more to see if there's anything else before they leave.
Okay. Alright. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
That one didn't roll.
Okay. So you try kind of looking around the edge of this room, see if there's anything else. You don't seem to notice anything, Sarah.
Is anyone else gonna look?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Okay. Okay. Let's see here. So you check around the edges of this room here. Let's see here. One second. Alright, so you find a secret door in the wall of the northwest corner of the room. So it swings open, and you find yourselves in about a 20-foot square room that appears to be a pretty comfortable study or library of some sort. There's a fire in the hearth that kind of blazes warmly. There's a couch that looks pretty comfortable. There's a table in the middle of the room with a bowl with 9 good berries in it. And there's a small, plain-looking wooden box. There is a... Like, the walls look like they're, you know, they are kind of like reinforced. They're like kind of this ornate wood reinforced with steel. And there's kind of a lattice of iron beams across the ceiling that's kind of decoratively carved. Looks like a pretty comfy place to chill in.
How much of this can we steal and take back to the manor?
Anything small.
Think big. We can have the kids get a carriage and just haul us out to the entrance.
Can I look in the small, unassuming box?
Okay. So you open the box and you kind of try to look over this wooden box, and it doesn't appear to have any kind of like opening or lid. You aren't quite sure how one goes about opening it.
I'm gonna put it in my bag and figure it out later.
Okay. Do you check anything else in this room here?
Yeah, I'll look around and see if there's anything else that interests me.
Okay. Go ahead and do an investigation check as you're looking around. All right. So you kind of look around the rest of the room. You notice that the couch is warm, for one thing.
Okay.
But aside from that, you don't really notice anything else of note. Just that it's a pretty comfortable room.
I mentioned to the other people in the room that someone's been here recently.
Can I look for another hidden door?
Sure, you can. Go ahead. Roll for perception.
Mix is gonna look at this room, considering how he can haul the couch and everything out of here.
Let me tell you, you don't want to try getting couches shipped anywhere. So just be careful with that.
Blossom, you check around and you don't seem to find any other signs of secret door at all. Anybody else checking around in this room aside from Mix trying to eye up this couch?
Oh, it's not the couch, it's everything in this room. I want to strip it bare and take it.
Okay.
How you planning on getting all that out of here?
Well, you know, I have friends like you, dude.
I ain't carrying shit for you.
I think given the rest of this session, she wouldn't consider you a friend at the moment.
Are you looking at that box that Zyra took as well, Mix, or no?
It's already in my bag.
Oh, it's already in your bag. That's right. Okay.
Given that it seems we're not alone, I'm also looking for some sort of hidden door.
Okay. I guess Mix, Zyra, both of you go ahead and roll investigation for me.
God damn it.
Wow. Okay. Mix, as you are looking around in this room, you notice that the edge of the table in the middle of the room appears to have some faint runes carved into it. You identify that these runes appear to be related to some kind of transmutation spell. You aren't quite sure which, but they are of the transmutation school. And this was the table that had the box as well as the good berries on it.
Yeah, does anyone want
Mix
some
is-
berries?
Going to pull out his purse and start laying a copper coin on the transmutation spells.
Start doing what?
He's going to take out his coin purse and he's going to start with a copper coin and lay it on the transmutation spells.
Okay. So you lay down this copper coin, and it doesn't seem to have any effect on this coin from what you can tell. It just appears to still be a coin.
He's going to go up through silver and gold. See what happens.
Okay. Same sort of deal. You three set one of these each on the table, and they continue to just be coins.
He's going to set a food ration next on the table.
Okay. You set the food ration on the table, and it appears to almost immediately start giving off kind of a scent that it has spoiled.
So then why haven't the berries spoiled?
He's gonna lay his water skin.
The water skin, you lay this on the table, and when, like, do you like pick it back up afterwards to like inspect it?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So you kind of like pour a little bit out of this water skin, and it appears to have turned into a somewhat acidic substance.
I want the stable. Think about it. I can lay vials of water on it and create vials of acid that we can throw at people.
As with anything else, if you can get it out.
Mix is gonna start dragging the stable by himself.
Just because Zyara is very curious now,
Uh-huh.
she takes the box out of her bag
Uh-huh.
and she's gonna use detect magic on it.
Okay. So you cast detect magic on this box, and you do seem to detect some kind of magic. It is... I mean, you detect that there's transmutation magic afoot. But not really anything more than that.
Okay, so I don't really know what this box is, just that it
Mhm.
has some magical qualities inherent in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Zara, lay the box on the table and let's start the coin process again.
I put the box back on the table.
Okay. The box continues to be a box.
I'm gonna start by setting a copper, silver, and gold coin inside the box and closing it.
Well, we can't open the box.
Yeah, the box appears to be pretty solid. I mean, you could try busting it open if you wanted to. It's wooden.
For the box?
It's wooden.
I'll lay them on top of the box.
Nothing seems to happen to the coins.
Perhaps figuring out how to open this box is the key to the table.
Would I have knowledge of how to read these runes and see what they do?
Go ahead and roll an Arcana check for me, and let's see if you do. From what you can make out of these runes, these transmutation runes, it appears that they are some sort of spell that reverses the magic of things within its field.
Mix is gonna tell Zyar to take her box back and start rolling this table out of this room.
What would happen, I wonder, if we put that gem on the table? Like, I take my box back, but I'm still wondering about what would happen if we put the gem on it. If it reverses magic.
Well, it reverses the... let me see here. Let me see if I can get the better description of it for you here. So it reverses like the magical like effect or properties of things in its field. So I mean, like there's these good berries on the table, and you have this box, whatever it is, um, and such.
Okay.
Think about it, idiots. Let's make this our poker table at the end. Just think about it. Anybody tries to use magic, it's reverse time.
So, just in the spirit of testing,
Uh huh.
Zyara puts the box on some other surface
Mm-hmm.
and has Mix do the coin test again on it.
Same. Nothing changes. I mean, from what he read, that this table has a field. You weren't sure how big this field is.
Okay.
Is there anything else magic in this room? Can I do a detect magic? Like on the room?
Sure. You can. Do you have detect magic spell? I know Sarah does. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
There we go. I checked the box. I have detect magic. It gives me just a 30-foot radius
Okay.
aura thing. Tells me it gives me an aura and then the school of magic.
Okay. And you don't really get anything different than Zayara. There's the good berries on the table, and then whatever this box is that is being affected by transmutation magic.
I'll eat a good berry and then I'll put my gem on the table.
Okay, go ahead and go roll a Constitution saving throw for me. Okay. As you eat this good berry, you feel a little ill and you lose 1 HP.
Okay. Don't eat these things. I don't feel good.
The name is misleading.
Mix is tempted to cast friends to make him eat all of it. But he's more determined to drag this table out of here. That is his only focus. He wants this magical table.
I mean, go ahead and roll a strength check for me on this table.
Oof.
So you try to move this table. The bottom half of this table, it's a pretty solid, heavy wooden table, but the bottom half of it is iron. So you're trying to drag a half cast iron table. It's not happening.
Do we need the legs? Would it just be the tabletop that is enchanted?
Jinku, I ignored the door. Please help me. We need this table.
Because if we only take the tabletop, then a wooden tabletop would be very simple to get out.
Janky, would you help me so I could put it in my room?
Sure.
Jinku, help me move this so he can't have it.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing.
Yep, and she agrees to it.
Well, I mean, go ahead and roll a strength check, Janky. You can try. It is not happening. This thing does not move.
Alright.
Guess nobody gets the table.
Fuck this table.
Mix is gonna leave and start walking towards every door with a crowbar in his hand.
Are we not able to separate the top from the legs, though?
Not from what you can tell. It seems to be pretty solidly constructed.
Perfect mortise joining. No nails. Look at this construction. It's beautiful. I just wish one of us Didn't have noodle arm.
This would be the point in my other campaign where my halfling would, like, roll a nat 20 strength check.
Well, we got that box, at least, right? We can carry that with us.
Yep. It'll be the only reminder of this table.
I wish I had
Things
dispel
can't have
magic
it.
or something.
Mix is gonna leave and go back to the ivory door and start trying to pry it off its hinges. With
You
the
better
crowbar.
stop touching it before Jenku sees you.
Sorry,
Mix
are you all
bullshit.
leaving this room?
I think so. I think we've given up because none of us can find a door.
Okay. All right. So as you all head out of this room here, and you still have the box, Zaro?
Yep.
Okay. So you still have this box, and you guys kind of make your way out of this and kind of back into this larger room, and kind of making your way out into the hallway. So this box, do you just have it in like your satchel, or something?
Yeah, it's wrapped up in some cloth in my satchel.
Okay. As you're walking out of here, you kind of feel like a tingle in the side of your leg, Zyara.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of gets stronger and stronger, like as the more you walk away. And then it's like a pretty sharp kind of electrical stinging, and this box that's in your satchel just bursts, and you find yourself kind of zipping out of your bag is a kind of large or a medium-sized glowing orb, kind of sparking with electrical energy as it floats in the air next to you all. And I think that would be a good spot to call it for tonight.
Okay.
All right.
Phenomenal session, as usual, tonight.
And I think at this point, with the stuff that you guys have gone through in here so far, I would say let's go ahead and level up to 3.
Woohoo!
Because you guys have gone through a good bit of shit since the last time we leveled. So feel free to go ahead and apply that to yourselves and whatever new things you get here.
You're gonna
Better
have to
spells.
remind me how to level up on this thing.
The what?
You're gonna have to remind me how to level up
Oh.
on this thing.
Yeah. So click on, you want to choose class on the left hand or the right hand sidebar. The button over there. If you don't have it, go to the library.
Like class it is?
Yeah, classes. And look for the cleric. Specifically, do you remember what school you were? Were you like a regular PhD?
You just did the
cleric?
regular player's handbook.
Okay, so drag the regular player's handbook cleric onto your.
Okay.
Okay. So that would have that leveled you up and added any particular hit points, and if you want to see like how many, like what, or how many new spells you're able to like know or whatever, click into the cleric in the classes menu. With the button.
This.
Yeah. And the level up table is in there if you're wanting to see. So I know clerics get a little bit different with their, because they already get like their school and stuff. But yeah, we'll call that good for tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. Feel free to stick around if you want to do your level up stuff now. I'll keep Fantasy Grounds up for y'all. But I'll go ahead and stop the stream. Thanks for stopping by, y'all.